How does it feel to officially become PMP certified?
It is like massive feeling, because like I feel like I have leveled up.
Getting certified is, of course, the fruit.
Yes. After I achieved the certificate, I cannot miss to thank Addon for this journey. People just focus on their career growth and not the career excellence. Both things are quite different. Career growth is just like getting a better title with a higher salary, But excellence is basically becoming better at what you do.
Everybody should upskill themselves, should invest in their learning,
Once you are done with the PMP, you can see your project from different angles. I would say the best time is today, not tomorrow, today. You have to start right away. The real commitment is very important, Consistency is important. The consistency or intensity is the key point here.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to PPM with Addon. I'm your host, Mayur, and today I'm excited to be joined by a special guest, Mr. Anmol Rane, who has recently achieved one of the most respected credentials in project management, the PMP certification. Hi, Anmol. Congratulations on this fantastic achievement, and thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Mayur, and thank you so much for inviting me for this session. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Anmol. It's really nice of you to take time out and come and join us. I'm really excited to have this podcast with you where we'll be discussing so many questions. So before we begin, I'd like to share something very important with the audience. If you're planning to pursue the PMP certification and you want to pay close attention to this conversation, Anmol recently, cleared his PMP exam and he's going to share practical insights, strategies, and also lessons learned from his exam experience that can help you on your PMP journey. And make sure you stay till the end with us because I have a bonus question which I'm going to ask Tanmay. Okay. And this is going to help you. It's going to make a difference in how you approach your PMP exam. So, Anmol, without further ado, let's dive in. My first question to you is, how does it feel to officially become PMP certified?
Honestly, I feel absolutely wonderful. It's like, when you put in a lot of efforts, all your hard work, you sacrifice all your weekends and all those passing from all your those self-doubts and everything. And finally, when you achieve that certification, it is like massive feeling,
I know.
And it's really hard to put it into words, but because like I feel like I have leveled up, because we know what the standard of PMP is, right? It is like a all-round development of our professional things, and it is just not like a certificate for me, yeah, right? It is like a validation that like I have a different outlook of looking towards the projects, and managing those challenges, right? So yes, I'm really happy to have all those efforts come into field and to achieve the certification.
I like what you said, it's not just a certification, it's the learning actually.
Yes.
Because I'm myself PMP certified and I tell this to a lot of PMP aspirants that, the learning is really something that will grow you all.
That's right.
And
Yes.
that's something I could pick up from your line is that getting certified is, of course, the fruit.
Yes.
But then that journey that you take forward, the learning, that's so very important.
Yes, absolutely.
Very nice, very nice. So, Anmol, a little bit more, I would want to, talk about this. That once you got certified, what was the first person you went to, or did you call someone? How was that experience? Like, you come out of the exam center, you want to talk to someone, you want to share your emotions.
Yes, absolutely. See, I after I achieved the certificate, I cannot miss to thank all the team of Addon, which was behind me throughout this journey. I still remember I texted Kailash sir and I texted Dheeraj and also I texted you immediately. I still remember that. Also, I called my family to share the news with them. But yeah, ultimately, I can say I cannot miss to thank Addon for this journey. The first thing which I did was I contacted Kailash sir. So yeah,
We are
that was a
very
huge
humbled.
feeling. Yeah.
They're very humbled with that, Anmol, because I could share that excitement that when he spoke over the call,
Yes.
when you texted me and I immediately connected with you, I could actually feel that
Yes.
that enthusiasm that you had that happiness because
Yes.
you work so hard, as you said, sacrifice so many weekends.
Yes.
Your family supports you here, and when you finally get this, it's a experience which you just cannot explain.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's really nice. So after that, what did you do? Party? I mean, after you reached home. Then what was it? I mean, now you are PM certified.
I still remember my session was somewhere around like 10 to 2 p.m. And by the time I reached home, it was somewhere around in the afternoon 3:30. So what I did was the first thing was I slept peacefully for a couple of hours because all those, the late night studies, the early morning studies, and a quick revision time during the exam day.
Right.
So all these are like kind of an exhausted to me on that particular day, and all that the stress of the exam as well. So that was a relief when I cleared that exam, and it was a huge feeling for me.
Oh, that's really nice. I can understand that because especially one day prior to the exam,
Yes.
you have so much of pressure, right?
Yeah.
And the PMP exam is not easy. I mean, it's
Yes.
4 hours, almost to 30 minutes. It's not
Yes.
easy. So, after you have really completed that, your brain requires that rest. So I can
Yes.
understand, so that's something which I can absolutely relate to. So let me go further down from here and ask you the next question. What really inspired you to start this PMP journey of yours?
My inspiration, I would clearly say that there was a belief in me that I should not stop growing. When you are in such a professional industry, there's a huge lot of competition going around the world, and this thing you should always have in your mind that you should not stop learning. The growth should never stop. We all know that the PMP is such a like a global standard, which is it has such a weightage across the globe, and it,
Right.
it is for
Yes.
every industry, not for a particular type of industry, right? And it is such a well recognized certification that it not only just gives you a certificate on paper, right? It develops you all around. PMP is,
Correct.
yeah, it is such a nice certification to have, that which gives you all, like it aligns you with all the different aspects of the way you are working, right? So I would say it was like a combination of different wants and needs inside me. The need of keeping myself growing, also to enhance my profile, the professional profile, and also to have benchmark myself against the entire the best the things in the world, right? You need to set your a bar to yourself. So this was a core belief inside me, and this was the thing which drove me to achieve this certification.
That's really well said because
Yes.
learning, when you talk about learning, Anmol,
Yes.
okay, and you say that, everybody should upskill themselves, should invest in
Yes.
their learning. Now that's something I can relate to also because in today's day and age, you have to learn, you have to upskill, you have to put
Yes.
yourself at par, with the industry standards. So how did you think of ENP during this? The learning, there are so many things out there that you can learn from. How did you know, bring PMP? Okay, I should do PMP. I should move with PMP. How did you manage to factor in that?
To be very specific, my clear aim was of like my career excellence. People just focus on their career growth and not the career excellence. Both things are quite different. Career
Oh,
growth is just like getting a better title with a higher salary, but excellence is basically becoming very genuinely better at what you do in your industry. EMP is that one thing which will make you all round. You can have in any industry, you can see any project or your work which you are doing from all the different perspectives. This is the time when once you are done with the PNP, you can see your project from different angles. Not
right,
only not only the work you are doing. You
right.
right now I can see anything from a stakeholder's perspective, from the risk perspective, cost perspective, schedule perspective, and lot of things. So PMP is such a standard certification. This is, I think this is the only thing which will give you this aspect. this perspective.
No, I would like to touch upon this when you said before and after PMP. Now the lens has changed
Yes.
out over
Yep.
here, right? So when you're able to see how projects can be seen from the PMP lens,
Right.
it makes such a big difference. And you
Yes.
also said, career, goal setting.
Mm-hmm.
This PMP, now that this lens has changed, now that you are PMP certified, how do you see yourself that your career is going forward?
Right. The thing which I just mentioned, that now once I'm done with my PMP, the one thing which PMP has given me, that the perspective of looking at the things from all different angles. You know,
Right.
it has given me that outlook. Yeah. Now the person who has done PMP in any industry can walk into any project environment and lead with confidence.
True.
This is this, and it gives you an edge and competency, between all the other people around you. So this is a very, very important thing which PMP has given me.
That's really nice, Anmol.
Yeah.
My next question to you is out over here. I've seen a lot of professionals who come along, talk to me. They say, I want to pursue PMP. And,
Yes.
when I reach out to them, they say, no, they have various reasons. Like maybe it could be a project is going on. Maybe I will do PMP later on. Okay. Or it could be financial crisis. It could be
Mm.
so many reasons. Other priorities are there. But how did you prioritize and say, no, I need to do PMP? I need to take this action and it has to be now.
Yeah.
What was that really motivated you to move with that goal?
Well, I feel that um, I honestly feel that this was the right time for me to start with the PMP, because if you just wait for the right time, it never comes. Sometime,
Right.
someday you need to take that call, right? And even if you see, even PMI has that said that prerequisite criteria, of 36 months of um experience in your industry, right? So
Right.
there
Right.
is some reason to keep that 36 months, right? So people just waiting for a perfect moment and waiting for years to go for this certification is, I think, this is not the right thing. So they just need to start right now, and this
Okay.
is the thing which inspired me to get into PMP immediately, because I felt, yeah, this is the right time and right experience I have, and this is the perfect time to have to see the projects from different angles.
Right. So again, now I would want to ask you now for what is your advice to those people, who are postponing their PMK goals? So what would you tell them?
No, to be very honest, I would say, if you fit in that criteria of the PMI, I would say the best time is today, not tomorrow. Today, you have to start right away, because once you might not feel it right now, but once you clear the PMP, once you are through that certification, you will see that difference in yourself. You will start looking at the things from different angles, and
Correct.
so, to all those aspirants, or the people who are willing to go with it, I would say, don't wait for the perfect moment to come.
That's well said,
Yes.
Anmol, because no, I'll tell you in the PMP journey, I tell a lot of PMP aspirants that
Yeah.
it's not only the beginning, it is
Yes.
also the whole journey of
Yes.
2 months, 1 month, 3 months. Because see, they are all working professionals here, right?
Yeah.
So here you need to factor in some time for study.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
So my next question is connected to this. How did you manage to, bring this together, your preparation
Mhm.
alongside work? We procrastinate a lot. We don't have the time. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I only have time on weekend, but then I need to dedicate time or devote time to my family. Now,
Yes.
in this situation, how did you manage to keep that focus, move with it, and also do your work?
No, it is really, genuinely, it is very tough, that you need to have that commitment, because everyone here is a working professional. They can spare some time during their day, after their job and their work, but the real commitment is very important, And here, one thing which I want to highlight here, that you
Uh-huh.
don't need to overhaul your entire life on this, Even but the consistency is important. The consistency over intensity is the key point here. Every day after your work hours, you can spare at least 1 and 1.5 hour for your preparation is okay. You have your weekends, right? you have your weekends free, you can spare maybe some extra time, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever is suitable for you according to your routine.
Okay.
And
So,
you do this
Mhm.
consistently for the 2, 3 months, and definitely you will go through it. You can clear it. But only thing is you need is commitment and consistency for your studies. Yeah.
that's so Anmol,
Yeah.
I'm sure our viewers who are going to be watching this podcast, they want to know how your schedule was. You could
Yes.
elaborate a little bit on, see, he worked Monday to Friday,
Yes.
Saturday, Sunday, then a weekend off. You have family time. You
Yes.
need to factor in study time. Could you elaborate a little bit on when you said, maybe a night time you studied, early morning? What was your schedule? Could
Yes.
you give a little insight into that?
Yes. See, like many other people, even my schedule was the same. Getting up early, going to the job at like morning in 7 o'clock, and then reaching home at the evening 7:30. Right. So almost all of the day we are on our work, right? But at least once you reach home, you need to spare that 1 hour. You need to commit that 1 hour, but complete focused 1 hour. I used to do that. I know because of the entire exhaustion of the day, entire day your routine, you cannot go for more than 1 or 1.5 hour daily. It
Yeah.
will exhaust you, and you might not remember the things that you are reading. So in that
Right.
case, 1 hour is sufficient, sir, but can commit more hour on weekends. This is what I used to do. And I'm
Okay.
quite a kind of a early morning study person and not the late night. So even on the weekends, I used to get up early. I used to study maybe 4, 5, 6 hours with
Okay.
certain breaks in between as per our comfort. And maybe you
So
can
sorry to
spare
interrupt
some.
you. Sorry to interrupt. So what
Yeah.
time in the morning? Like five early in the morning? You say five, six.
No, I used to get up at 6 and
Okay.
start my
So
preparation
that is
for.
that's
Yes.
continues with a couple of breaks till say ten
Yes, yes,
o'clock in the
yes,
morning.
yes. Yeah, with a couple of breaks, you can go for till 10 o'clock. Then you can maybe have some break. Can
Okay.
engage yourself in other activities which you like. Again, in
Okay.
case you find some time in the afternoon or maybe 1 or 1.5 hour, you can go with that. And maybe you can
Okay.
spare the evening for your family. You can reserve that time for your family time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I was trying to tell that during the preparation of mocks, like when I was giving my mocks, what I used to do is I used to dedicate an entire day for mocks. If you can maybe you can take one weekend like Saturday. You can start your mock early in the morning, like or 7 or 7:30. You have that 4 hours of, and once you complete your mocks at around 11:30, 12, you can take a
Hmm.
break. But my
Hmm.
suggestion would be to evaluate that mock on the same day. This is what I used to do.
Okay.
I used to evaluate all those questions and mocks on the same day. So this is how you
So
can
could you
your weekends as well.
so the same day evaluation, what does it really give you? Then you think to take it the next day also, but why the same very time? Say you evaluate the 180 questions, and of that, say
Yeah.
40% are wrong. How it helped you in this?
Yes, see, evaluating the question on the same day is because you are in that. You know, you have given your 4 hours in those questions, giving that mock. You
Yeah,
have those questions fresh in your mind. And evaluating all those 180 questions is very important, because not just evaluating the wrong answers, but going through the explanation of the correct answers is also very important, because
well,
it also tells you whether your reasoning was correct or not.
right.
And
Yes,
this is what the exam tests you for, right? It
yes.
tests not your correct answer. It tests your reasoning behind that. So that is the
Yes,
reason.
I like this approach of yours, Anmol. You know why? Because during my PMP preparation also, I
Yeah.
did the same thing. And
Yeah.
I'll talk a little bit more on this, why you should not take it the next day. Is because you have completed the mock and
Mhm.
it's fresh in your mind right now. You know
Yes.
what or how you have actually fared in that.
Yes.
And now evaluating, you could actually see why or analyze, I would say, why you really hit the wrong answer. And as you
Yes.
said, the explanation is there. for the right answer here. So you could actually feel. And a little bit further more, if you could go, is where map the questions
Yes.
to the domains, process, people, business environment,
Absolutely.
map them.
Yes.
And also you could check the probability. Maybe is it an agile question? Is it
Yes.
a mathematical question? Is it a predictive question? Is it, so you could know where you are really going wrong, identify your gaps.
Right. That's right.
Let me go a little bit further from this and ask you, we all know in PMP we make sacrifices. The journey is not simple. Your family made sacrifices. You make so many sacrifices. What did you do on this journey?
Yeah,
What
absolutely. This,
sacrifices you had to.
yeah, as I highlighted it even before also, that the sacrifices, absolutely, your weekends are your biggest sacrifices. When only person who is working 9 to 5 and all those 5 days a week, he knows the importance of these 2 days of the weekends, the Saturday and
Yeah,
Sunday.
no, right,
And
of course.
absolutely, and studying for those weekend batches of our lectures, as well as your mocks, which I targeted on weekend specially. So yeah, that was my biggest sacrifice. All those weekend plans.
Family demands.
Yes, 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 yes.
You have to do. You can't say no sometimes. You have to. But
But this is the point where I also need to highlight that your family support is immense, in this journey. And
this.
yeah, even my family supported me a lot. They did not force me or compel me on any weekends. They gave me my space, my time for all my studies. And this is what you need, right? When you
Yeah,
are preparing for such a
that's
competitive certification, you need those focus. You need
yes.
that concentration for your
That's
studies.
very,
Yeah.
very important.
Yes.
My next question to you out over here is that, during this journey, you have your highs and lows, right? So did you
Yes.
get any time demotivated, like, oh my God, this is like really too hard. It's not my cup of tea. Or you have work stress also along that side, family is there. Did it come any point that maybe I'll do this after 6 months, 8 months? I'll not do it right now, you know? Or, you know, let me take a pause.
No,
Was there any time like this?
no, I think during the preparation time, I was completely focused. I was very committed to do this. So I guess that wasn't the time when I felt demotivated or something. But yeah,
Okay.
during the earlier mocks where I was not achieving that score which I wanted actually. So that was a short time where I started feeling demotivated, or maybe started feeling of a feeling of fear, that whether I'm going to clear it or not. And yeah, this is the time where I guess every aspirant or every candidate who's appearing for the exam goes through this phase once. That they
Yes.
start feeling that I'm not achieving that score. But here is the point where you need to focus that these scores are not to show you, that how your exam scores are gonna be. No, these
That,
scores are going to tell you where you are lacking, where you
yes.
are lagging behind, what questions you need to focus on, what domains you need to focus on. And if you take this mocks from this perspective as a learning perspective, definitely you will again start feeling encouraged for your further mocks. And this is what I did. And the rest
That's
of the mocks, my score started again gradually increasing, and then this is where started motivating me. So yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
I want to talk a little bit about, your study strategy. Okay.
Hmm.
A lot of PFP aspirants who are there who are going to give their exam, they
Yes.
want to know the resources you used. What did you get? What did you touch upon? Oh, that you did your training from Addon Skills, which is your
Hmm.
authorized training partner of PMI. So could you just talk a little bit and give some, understanding on the resources he touched upon, enlighten our audience?
Yes. Okay, so regarding study strategy, I would say there are a couple of points which I need to say. And very most important is the lecture which you are attending from add-on. Lectures are very important, as if you are completely focused during the lectures, I guess 30 to 40% of your study is already done in those lectures from the add-on.
Okay.
And
Yes.
I was very fortunate to have Dheeraj as my tutor. He's teaching way was exceptional. No, it was amazing. He's not a person who just reads between reads the PPT lines. He is used to have his Excel file. He used to
Yes.
go each and every the concept through that Excel, and no PPTs and nothing. And was such a great way of learning. I guess that was the first thing which prepared me. The next thing, I think the mocks are very important. The mocks from Addon are very beautifully planned, very beautifully structured. And I think apart from that, there was no need for me to go for any other third party mocks or something. All the seven mocks from add-ons were brilliant. And all the
Wonderful.
questions, the length of the questions, the options, the what is, I would say, the resemblance between the options. It is not
Right.
like that you have only one option which thinks it is the correct. Rest all are just kind of that, I would say, not brilliant options. No, not like that. Add-on marks are very nice uh, from the questions point of view. And apart from that, I also went through the PMI PPTs, the PMS study material, and some of the study material which I have received from some of my colleagues, like from Andrew Lambdal or something like that. Also, I would suggest,
Okay.
now this is a age where you have all the resources like AI, you have YouTube. So also, if there are some doubts, some questions, you can always go online. You can study it in a better way. Or maybe you can have all the add-on tutors and all the add-on coordinators to help you all the way around you. So these are all the things
Yeah.
which can help you to plan your strategies.
See, I think you well said, Anmol,
Yes.
because I think what's very important out over here is the trainer. Because
Yes.
the 35
Absolutely.
hours of contact gaming, you need to really understand the concepts. And if the trainer, like you said, is just reading the PPT, then it's not going to really make sense. The training is the platform, or I would say the base, which is
Hmm.
formed in your learning. And then from there you can always move forward to the mocks and going to any additional material out there also. So let me ask you this question here is that, a lot of PMP aspirants are there who are making a lot of mistakes in today's times.
Hmm.
Okay. They have a lot of material like this. YouTube is there, XYZ trainers are there. So what are the common mistakes you think that, a person who's planning his PMP can make in spite of these resources available?
Yes. Okay. So again, I have some couple of points here. If I need to highlight the mistakes of the PMP aspirants out there, the first and very important mistake which everyone make is not scheduling their exam early. Yeah. They are just waiting for the preparation to get completed. No, I guess this is the very wrong approach. I think you need to schedule your exam right now. If you think you are done prepared with you are done with your preparation quite enough, I guess you need to schedule your exam right now, because it will give you your preparation a structure. It will give you a deadline. It is just like a project. A project without any deadline is
Right.
definitely going to fail. You need to have some deadline, to achieve that
Correct.
thing, right? So this is one thing which you need to put that date on your calendar, and you need to start studying with a perspective of that date of giving that exam on that date. It becomes even clear. The studies become even clear. Another thing which I highlighted just now, that you need to evaluate each and every question of your mocks. I have seen many aspirants who do just evaluate their wrong answers. No, this is not the right approach. You evaluate each and every question whether it is right or wrong, because the wrong answer will tell you where you are lagging, and the right answers will tell you is your reason correct, is your thinking behind that question is correct or not. No.
Right.
And also there is one more thing which I need to highlight that many PNP aspirants get wrong into is they don't just look at this like a certification point of view. You know, if you are giving this exam just for a certification, I think it is not going to excel you in your career. You need to see this as a growth mechanism. This certification is going to change the way you think. And you need to
Well,
do
so
the certification for that reason, not just for a paper certification. So these
one.
are a couple of things which every aspirant should think from this angle.
That's so well said, Anmol.
Yeah.
Really wonderfully,
You,
wonderfully said. So I just want to elaborate a little bit on you said that schedule your exam.
yes.
So by this you mean the moment you complete your 35 hours of contact training to schedule your exam,
Mhm.
or how does that, how did it
Oh,
work for you? Like the moment you completed your
yeah.
add-ons training, you immediately decided, no, I'll put this date on the calendar.
Mhm.
Could you talk a little bit on that?
No, it is not like that. Once your 35 hours of training is done, I guess you
Okay.
can take a month or maybe a 1.5 month to first start your preparation at a foundation level. Please, I would say go through that material at least once. This will give
Okay.
you a clear idea how prepared you are.
Okay.
So there are
Yeah.
some aspirants who feel prepared in the lectures itself. And there are some aspirants which still feel no, I need some couple of months to prepare you. But
Correct.
once I would suggest at least you once we are gone through that preparation for at least one time from all your materials at least for one time, then you can see how much time you need to become 100% prepared. Maybe you can say I need 2 months more to get 100% prepared and to clear to go through all my mocks. So you can
Correct.
schedule a date from 2 months from that day.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is this is what I did. Like, I remember my lecture was scheduled for January this year. Once my all the 35 hours of training was done in Jan, I took my entire Feb and March to see how prepared I am.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes, and once I felt confident enough to give the exam, immediately in the first week of April, I scheduled my exam for the first week of May. So that entire April was for giving the mocks.
Correct.
So this is
That's
the
a good start.
strategy. Yeah, this is the strategy which everyone should work upon.
See, I just want to, when you say book the date, this reminds me of mentor Kailash because, he always tells his students, even me for that matter, until and unless you don't put that goal
Hmm.
on the calendar, you're not moving forward. Okay? Even during my, I'm sorry, even during my PMP certification journey, he did tell me, Mike, you need to put that goal. Otherwise,
Yes.
you just keep moving forward. There's always something
Yes.
always coming around.
Right. Yes, right. You need to have that target date in mind. Yeah. Because
Right, right.
we have seen some aspirants who have started preparing maybe a year ago, but they are still not confident even enough to give their exam.
Correct.
Yeah, but I think if they schedule their exam,
Absolutely.
they will immediately start feeling confident enough to structure their approach, the
I think
preparation.
the seriousness also comes in, Anmol,
Yes,
but you know that, yes, you're invested now, you paid
yes,
for the exam, right? Now that seriousness is there.
yes,
You have to move forward. There's no going back.
yes. Right.
So that's another very good thing that you
Yeah.
said on this podcast. I'd like to move from this year
Mm-hmm.
to talk a little bit about the exam. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you have recent given the exam and appeared for it, right? So, anything surprised you from, like when you're going to give the actual exam? Any surprises? Anything that came to you as a shock or as a surprise?
I would say the biggest surprise in the exam is the exam environment.
Okay.
You can prepare for all the questions, all the domains around there, but you can hardly prepare for the to sit on that exam environment. That the exam environment is very surprising to you because you're not prepared to sit for 4 hours in that environment.
Right.
All those stress of the time and all these questions, all suddenly the time starts flowing very quickly. Those
Mhm.
2 30 minutes seem like just 120 minutes, something like that. You know.
Was there something in your mind prior to do the mocks and you
Mm-hmm.
go?
Yes.
Like you've done your preparation, but was there anything in your mind prior to visiting the center that it's going to be this way? And when you went into the center, you're in front of the computer and now you're going to give your exam. Anything
Mhm.
different came out where,
Was
you were like, okay, it should have been this way, but it was unexpected. You understand?
See, first thing, initially I was not very sure about how the exam center works. Initially, I thought there might be a completely different room for me. Like I will be completely focused towards my PC screen, towards my questions. But to be honest, the exam center is quite generalized. 15
Yeah.
to 16 different types of candidates sitting around you, giving
Hmm.
their different exams, maybe PMP or
Correct.
any other exam. And you know,
Right.
this you're not prepared for such exams, you such environment, because you are
Right.
giving your mocks at your home, at your comfort, you know. And suddenly when you are in that environment of that exam center, you start feeling like every question is very lengthy.
Right.
You immediately start feeling that all the question options are looking same. And now as I'm highlighting the questions, I just want to highlight few couple of things which I was not expecting in the exam. That there are couple of tools in the exam which like highlighting the important part of the questions, or striking out the irrelevant part of the questions. This are very important things which I saw in the exam, and this was
Okay. Yes.
yeah, this was quite helpful for me while appearing for the
Also,
questions.
from the questions pattern that you experience, which
Mhm.
is there revealing right now, could you elaborate a little bit on the questions so our audience could know what they can expect in the real exam?
Yes. See, I would say the majority of the questions were like situational based. Yeah? They
Okay.
are putting me in some kind of situation. Some problem has happened. As a project manager, I want to take some action. Over the situation, I want to resolve the situation. These kind of questions were, I guess, majority of them in
Okay.
the exam. Like definition kind of, no. I think there were hardly any like straightforward definitions or something like that. Second thing,
Okay.
I would say the questions are lengthy, a bit of lengthy. I was not expecting the questions and the options to be so lengthy, but in that stressful environment of that exam, you start feeling all the questions quite lengthy, and you
Okay.
you you need to read that twice, thrice, sometimes, and that
Right.
that that the 230 you need to break down very very efficiently for all those 182 questions.
So in this point, I would like to touch
Hmm.
upon here, Anmol, is that
Mhm.
the scenario questions are long. Okay. Everybody knows that. And it takes some time for you to really read through, make sense of it, and then
Yes.
finally analyze and see which is the best answer.
Yes.
And there is a limited time of a minute or odd that is there that you have for these questions. And as you said, yes, it's tough.
Yes.
So what was your strategy in this where, you are now looking at a scenario question, you are time bound.
Yes.
What do you do? Now, say, I give you a couple of scenarios. Let's assume where you don't know the right answer. And
Mhm.
what do you do in in this case? Do you park the question
Yes.
or and move forward, or you wait on this question and decipher the right answer and then move? What would be the right strategy?
Yes, actually, that is a very beautiful question. No, see, everyone will know that there are 230 minutes. Let me touch upon a little bit on the exam pattern for those who maybe don't know some things about this. See, you have these 180 questions and you have 230 minutes bound, right? You have three sets of 60 questions each with a 10 minutes gap between each set. You need to break down this 230 minutes for these three sessions. What I used as a strategy, and I think this is a very important strategy which everyone should use. So when you start your exam, right from the first question, you are very freshly sitting there. You are fresh, your brain is fresh, your mind is fresh. Focus those first 60 questions for 70 minutes only. I
Okay.
would reserve 70 minutes only for those first 60 questions because you are fresh enough to go with that speed. For the next 60 questions, maybe you can go for 75 minutes. But the most important is the last session. Are extremely tired after that 120 questions. Brain, your
Yes.
mind is tired after reading all those questions, reading those lengthy options, and going through that the stressful environment. So last 60 questions need more reading and need more focused. So I would prefer always keep maximum amount of time for the last 60 questions. Maybe 85 minutes the you can focus. And one more, the important thing is, if you are not understanding a particular question, if you are getting stuck on question, just mark the most what I would say, out of four options, whichever you feel is the most, whichever your gut feeling says the most accurate, you mark it and mark the question for review, and you just move
Marcus
ahead.
later.
Yes,
Yes, you
yes,
move.
yes.
That's a
You can
very good
bring the,
strategy. Yes,
then don't forget to pick the option. You
correct.
pick the option and then mark the question for review and move ahead.
See,
Okay.
that is the right strategy also
Yes.
because, if you are going to be on pondering over a question for a really very long time,
Yes.
then you're going to jeopardize the easy questions that are coming
E-
in line. And you don't
Exactly.
want to do that.
Exactly.
So you have to prioritize the time and see that if this question is really taking that much time,
Yes.
at the end of that 60, you can always go back to those questions and you can always revisit and take an additional 2-3 minutes for them.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
strategy.
Yes.
Now, the
Mm-hmm.
question is 10
Mm-hmm.
minutes.
Yes, absolutely. The thing is, even I was not sure how this works in exam center, but it is a rule there at the center that within this break of 10 minutes, you cannot just sit at your desk. You have to get out of that center, not the center, out of that exam room. And you can just go out at the waiting room. You can just have a walk around. I would prefer not to go again for the study material in that break. Just have a walk, just have some breathe. You take a long breathe. Okay, have some water, use the washroom, just get fresh enough. And it is, they allow me, if you want to again go to your desk and start just in the 5-6 minutes. Okay, they are completely fine at the center. So you can again go, if you are ready enough, just go and sit at your desk and you can start your next 60 questions again. So yes,
See, Anmol,
definitely the taking the breaks is absolutely important. I would say.
I think that's well said, and that is absolutely true because
Yeah,
PMI has kept the breaks keeping in mind a reasoning.
absolutely.
Those breaks are there for something. Those 60 questions, again another 60 questions, you're taxing your brain. It's not easy. So here, many candidates who are giving the exam more feel that they should just go into the flow and move forward.
Yes.
If breaks actually are breathers, like for me, I would say when I took that break, I came out, drink that water, and you can also talk to yourself because sometimes what happened, you feel that maybe those 60 questions didn't really go well. You
Right.
might be demotivated at that time. But then you can always have that self talk and tell yourself that you have a balanced 120 question. Give it
Yes.
your best, even your 200%. No, you have that 10 minutes. That 10
Yes.
minutes can be a game changer.
Exactly.
Of
Yeah.
course,
Right.
apart from becoming refreshing yourself, drinking the water, and going back on your seat, you can always have this self talk. You can feel that, yes, I need to go back and focus.
Yes, absolutely. So that is
And
that
that's
is
that.
the reason why
Yes,
I focus. That time is the actual pressure in this exam. You don't have any other pressure. Time is the
correct.
actual pressure. So if you are ready enough or you are prepared enough to manage your time between those three sets, you are halfway done there.
Now, Amol, I want to ask you this, and this question normally comes for every person who's giving an exam. So you are on your 180th question. You know you have might have positive thoughts, you might have negative thoughts, but here the thought comes, I hope will I pass the exam? You're on
Yeah.
that exam 180th question and you're going to submit and it's going to reveal your result. What was that experience for you? Could you tell me that, when you press that button and you saw congratulations, Anmol Rane, you have cleared your PMP. Prior to that and post that, could you let our viewers know how does that feel?
Well, absolutely. That is what I will say. The burning moment, I would say. Before clicking the submit, you again start self-doubt. Am I going to clear it or not? But I would say one thing here. If you are confident enough in your preparation, I would say after the few sessions, the first 120 questions, you will start getting a hint about how you are going through right now. And to be very honest, I would say when I was in my third session, where almost like 30 questions were left. 30 or 20 questions. I was confident enough that I have cleared this exam. That was my confidence. And this is confidence you build this confidence through your preparation. If your preparation
Yes.
is well enough, you are giving your mocks on time, everything, you get the hint that yes, you are going to clear this. But the important thing was, I was not sure I was going to clear all the domains above target. That was a surprising moment when after clicking that button, you know, when I got the result in my hand and I saw all the domains with above target, that was a huge surprise. You know?
Would have blown you away.
Yeah, that was a different feelings. You know
Yes.
that you you start getting a hint that yes, you are going to clear this on target, but clearing that above target is surprising for you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Anmol, let me ask you this now. You are PMP certified. Okay?
Yes.
Anything differently you would have done now that you have achieved PMP? Should I have done this also? Should I have done that also? Anything different that comes to your mind?
No, see, but from a preparation point of view, I would say I was right on my path. Yeah, you know, because when I look back all those preparation things and exam things, I think that was quite I was quite on my path as per my plan. Only thing I would say what I would have done differently is maybe I would have started it early. That is, yeah, that is the only thing I feel I could have done differently. Maybe I could have started it a year ago. Yeah. So that is the only thing, and maybe I could see that I would have done differently. You know.
See, at the start of the podcast, you were saying, don't procrastinate. Start your journey.
Yes.
So this is something like, you have achieved your PMP and you actually realized is that maybe I would have done that earlier.
Yes.
But whatever happens at the best time, that's always the best, right? So
Yes.
let
Absolutely.
let me ask you this is that now that you're PMP, what is one lesson learned from this? Personally, professionally, what is the takeaway?
See, the biggest takeaway is the transformation that PNP has brought in my mindset. You know, it is real. It is real and it is long lasting. You know, professionally, it has like changed my outlook towards the project work. You know, maybe before doing that, I used to understand my project by my own lens, by
Ye-
my role, by my
Correct.
tasks. I would say, right? But now I can see the full picture. You know, this is what
Yes.
PMP has taught me, and this is what PMP has, I would say, planted me inside me.
Yes.
And now I can understand from stakeholders' point of view. I could say the risk, the costs, the quality, the procurement, everything. This is the holistic and all-round approach that PMP has given me. You can see your role or your tasks from every dimension, and this is
Well
very
said. Well
important,
said.
Mayur. You know, it's very
Yes. Yeah.
important to have a succeed in your life or in your career. You need to be holistic.
Correct. Correct. See, now when you have got this understanding and you're put on this lens and you're seeing it from that perspective, it's the
Yes.
application part. You can actually see now where and how you need to apply because the
Yes.
results will be delivered, right?
Yes.
So it's here where the PMP lens actually comes in and changes
Absolutely.
things, delivers things successfully, right? Now, in this podcast section, in the start, I had said we have a bonus question for all our viewers. And that bonus question I'm going to ask you. The question out over here is that, see, okay, let's assume a candidate is going to go and give his PMP exam tomorrow. What is the one tip you have for him? Let me elaborate a little bit on this is that there is fear. We know our
Yes.
preparation is up to the mark.
Yes.
You have to go and give your exam. You don't have anything in control, right? You have to go. Travel time is there. The weather may be good or bad. So one tip that he can give when the candidate enters the center, the exam is loading
Yes.
on your computer. The first question comes in, or prior to that, what would share some insight on that?
Fantastic question. I would say for any candidate, let's say who has his exam or her exam tomorrow, that my biggest suggestion is to avoid studying tomorrow, and if as far as possible avoid your studying today. You know, you need to be fresh. You need to be fresh. You can have a 1 hour or 2 hour of revision today, but then just close all your books. Just be in that mindset of tomorrow that you have your exam tomorrow, and just be fresh. Just be relaxed enough. You don't have to be stressed enough for that exam. So and the very important thing is just try to see where your exam location is, how far it is. Try to plan that, plan your transport, plan how you are going to reach there at least 1.5 hour earlier, because I'll tell you, my experience was my exam was scheduled at 10:30 in the morning. I reached there at 9:15. I didn't go directly at the center. I spent some time below the building, just relaxing
Okay.
myself. Somewhere around at 9:45, I went to the center, and they saw that I was early. I reached this center half hour early. They asked me, "Are you ready to give your exam right now?" And I said, "It's okay. I'm okay to give the exam right now."
Wow.
See, this is the thing. So instead of 10:30, waiting for my session at 10:30, I started my exam at 10.
Okay. Okay.
And this is something which eases your tension even more. It drastically eases your tension, your stress.
See, a little bit on this, I would like to elaborate a tip where I see many of the candidates, they know on their, appointment, it says 30 minutes prior you need to reach. But you don't need to be correctly 30 minutes. You have to factor in a little bit more time. It could be a delay in a bus, travel point, right?
Yes.
There are some checks right down before you enter the center.
Right.
I always tell our PMP aspirants and candidates that go at least 1 hour prior. Your day is
Yes.
planned. You know you have to give an exam. Your family knows that you are going to be here and going to do this. There's nothing more important than rather leaving late, right? So, as you said,
Yes.
be there at the center and go forward with whatever that the checks that need to be done and go in a cool manner because I think the focus is very important. If your focus moves
Absolutely.
away from, the travel, maybe the bus didn't come, you get irritated with that, those checks are there, you're not reaching on time, then it upsets the entire preparation and your focus on the exam. So
Yes.
that is
Absolutely.
something that, most candidates who are
Yes.
going to
See
give
that
the
that
exam
that is
don't
the
really realize.
Yeah, absolutely. See, that is the reason why I said that today, if your exam is tomorrow, then 1 day prior you need to be relaxed. You need to be focused.
Yes.
This exam requires immense amount of focus. Because all those
Yes.
questions, 180 questions, sitting there for 230 minutes is not easy. You need to be extremely
Correct.
focused, or else if you lose
And
your
also this,
focus, you will start seeing all those options as same. All
see,
those
also
options
from the
start seeming
relaxing
to be
part.
same.
Right. See, I'd like to even talk about that relaxing. When you say, you let's say tomorrow your exam is, you relax that evening. You go tomorrow fresh. Why that is also because see, how much will you really study, Anmol? That balance time. Let's assume today 8 o'clock till 7 o'clock in the evening you have studied. Some candidates push it till 12, 1, 2, 3. Tomorrow my exam is there, so I got to study. When you had all the time to study, the last few
Yes,
hours prior to your exam, what is really going to change? How much would you achieve? So
absolutely.
it's always best that you pause your preparation. As you're saying, go fresh to the
Yes.
exam. If you do the late night, even the day prior to your exam, then the next day is going to be heavy because the exam is not easy. You need to focus, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that freshness which we're talking of is basically where you take that pause. Maybe you watch a movie with your family, have a early night, get good sleep, so you can
Absolutely.
go to the center really fresh and attempt this exam with complete focus.
Absolutely. That's perfect. Yeah.
So Anmol, you have come to the end of this podcast. I would love to ask you so many more questions, but we are time bound here. So I would like to say thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your PMP journey with our audience. I'm sure your insights, your experiences will help so many PMP aspirants on their path to the certification. Congratulations once again on your PMP journey. I wish you luck, success. please do apply these, the concepts of PMP in your work, right? And to
Yes.
all our audiences out there who are watching this podcast, I request you, if this podcast has made you understand from Anmol experiences, please do like, subscribe, share. Feel free to post your questions in the experiences of yours in the comments below. This is Mayur here signing off. Keep learning, keep growing, keep delivering success. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you, Amol. Take care. All
Thank
the
you.
best.
Thank you so much, Mayur. Thank you so much.
It was
Thank
wonderful
you.
talking to you. Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.